associate with PVR. We make great films, but we, as a film director, as a filmmaker, we want the audience to experience the film the way we made it, in a particular way. So PVR creates fantastic cinemas, and that's how where I would love to have my films played. So it's a fantastic collaboration, PVRRR. So excited when we launched with Mr. Ajay. Today Sanjay is here. Thank you, sir. Quite frankly, I'll be lying if I tell you that I know everything about NFT. I'm very much confused about it. But when you are in doubt, you expect your good friend to, you rely on your good friend. So PVR is RRR's good friend, so I'm relying on PVR to explain it to me, what's going to happen with NFT. Of course, not in front of you, on the sides, but we are ready to take the questions. Thank you.
सर ये पॉपकॉर्न पानी थोड़ा सा डाउन.
All right, so
shot for this crazy action sequences there was this action sequence we shot for 65 nights, and but I think even Sharan will agree, and he can say otherwise, but I think the most challenging moment for us was to please him, satisfy him, because he's one of those directors who will not, I think he's the only director, at least I would believe that there are a few directors who would say, you know 99.9 is also fine, I'll take MLA, but he's like, no, I want my 100, you give me my 100, and then you move out of the camera. So that was the most challenging thing for us. Right? Yes, Charan?
next question.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Process, and I like my process to change with every film and with every filmmaker that I'm working with, because I, at the end of the day, believe that we are just the clay. That the filmmaker creates the structure and the film, and we just have to mold it to the filmmaker's hands. So I prefer to just go. Whatever the filmmaker wants, whatever the process, whether the filmmaker wants me to sit at home for 3 months and learn my lines, okay. Come on set without learning my lines, okay. Go on some camp and do some research, okay. Whatever the filmmaker wants. So that's my process. And yes, every character has something that I take away from. From Sita's character, I took away a silent strength. A strength that doesn't need to be spoken about or talked about. It's a silent strength which is delicate, which is simple, but it's strength.
That's beautiful. Also, having said that, before I pass on this mic, anything that you've learned in Telugu, if you could just say it for us, we really need to hear that. Any one thing.
Meeku na muddulu.
Thank you, Millie. We have the next question.
Hi, I'm Durga from INS. This question is like for all four of you.
Frankly, I'm not a visionary. I don't have such understanding about how everything works out. For me, it is all about my film and what I can do to make my film reach maximum number of audiences. So over the course of my career, I learned that the more stronger the emotions, more basic the emotions, more people tend to like your movie. So that's what I learned, and that's what I've been doing. And Bahubali just was liked by the entire country. And I think people realize that if they follow the same thing, if they base their story on basic emotions, basic human emotions, they will have a wider reach. So some films are doing well. Very, very happy for them, for all the films that are doing and good and across the entire country. And how the dynamics change in the market, I have absolutely no clue. I have absolutely no clue. If any of you have a clue, you can explain it to them.
So I think he's absolutely right. He doesn't start something thinking it should be loved by each and everyone, but it magically somehow in the end becomes that. And the first movie was Bahubali. And all of us are very glad to be part of this, because the floodgates, as you said, has been open to all actors to experience the other Indian directors and other Indian directors from different states to experience us. So there's a huge boundaries that have been erased, and we are very fortunate to be in this era of experiencing other directors and they experiencing us.
Good evening, everyone. This is Swati from India.com. So, like Tarak sir mentioned about physical challenge and like there's this
particular way, how he imagined us to be, his characters wanted to be. So it was challenging, but again, as I said, being fit is the number one priority for an actor today, in today's world. So we didn't go through this special care in COVID times, and when COVID was happening, everyone needed to be fit also. So that was, so it was going on. It was like a routine till RRR was happening, because we had to look in a particular way for sure. So yeah, it was.
Okay. Like we have been telling from the beginning, Arya comes as an important character. It's not a full-length character, it's a cameo. But the character is so important. It's so important because in the film we have two heroes who are like superpowers, who are like fire and water, out to destroy each other if things don't go well. And in between we wanted a soft, fragile looking girl, but who has enough inner strength to control these forces or lead these forces in the proper way. So that's why I wanted Alia to do it. So if you're talking about the length of the character, it is less. But if you're talking about the importance of the character, it is very high.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Need to actually go into a tribal village to meet the tribals to actually get into his role. As Rajmouli always said, that it's just the character he's taken, but everything around the character is fictitious. So it was, for us, it was his inputs as a director, what he wanted us to be and how he wanted us to fit into his character of Komaram Bhim. So we really didn't need to actually get into all those workshops. We just had like a day or two days of workshop. That's it. He just explained the characters and this is what we want. I want, and then you guys can do it.
Hi, hello.
Namaskar.
Rajamouli sir, मैं राहुल जैन.
Learned the stories of ancient India, how they were portrayed, how world perceived India was like it's a dusty place, it's a country of poorness, it is a country of sick people. Now, it used to make me feel very, very bad about it. The British newsreels, if you take the archives, no, it always showed India as a third world country and those kind of things. Of course, a part of it was true, but at the same time, I was taught from my childhood, India has a rich history, India has a rich culture, and just plain richness. India had so much of richness. And if you read other historians, if you take, I forgot the name of the Dutch explorer who came to South India, and he wrote the annals of Vijayanagara Samarajya in South, ruled by Krishnadeva. In that he writes, he went into the houses of commoners, house of the commoners, and he found that everyone, males and females, wore anklets made of gold. Okay, this is truth. This is the truth. This is a fact that was recorded in history. And he also wrote that middle class people had the bathing vessels made of gold. No, that is what what's the history of India. But that was never shown. That was never told. So I thought, okay, why should I take a Western account of what India is? No, I'll take account of what I was taught in my childhood, what I would imagine my country would be, what I imagine my freedom fighters would be. So that's the reason why I chose. So even if you take the stories of Komaram Bhim and if you take the stories of Alluri Sitaram Raju, which were in the 1920s, whatever historical account we have is still written by the Britishers, right? Not by Indian historians. What we have is some legendary folklore.